Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Anubis here with a brand new video for you guys today. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're all feeling good, feeling good, and are in good health mentally and physically. It's your boy is back with a video for you guys today. Before we had a video talking about rank 2.0 when it comes to Rainbow Six Siege, so I figured let's do an actual conversation piece about returning to Rainbow Six Siege as someone who took about 2.5 years off from the game. I last played Siege right around the time when RAM came out, so this is like 2023, and it was like right when she came out. It wasn't even like I played the entire season. I played like a handful of games when RAM came out. So I took a break from Siege for about 2.5 years, give or take some change. And the reason wasn't because like I disliked Siege. A lot of times people take a break from the game. It's not because they have any kind of like issue towards the game itself. Sometimes you just get distracted or there's other things you want to like play or do. For me personally, I've been playing Siege since the very first like tech tests essentially. So when you do that math, it's been years of me playing Siege. So I kind of just want to like branch out and just do other stuff. Like I was playing Valorant, I was playing freaking Fragpunk, I was playing freaking all these different video games and shooters, and I just wanted to experience something different, some new. And then obviously with Siege X around the corner, I got that urge again to come back to Siege, and I was kind of hoping that returning to Siege, as Siege enters being a 10-year-old game, that things have kind of like gotten better. That things have changed for the better when it comes to Siege. That Ubisoft has finally gotten things situated when it comes to the audio. That they've got things situated when it comes to community being toxic as hell and team killing and cheating and things like that. The unfortunate thing is that Siege, in 2025, isn't any different than Siege in 2023. And that's kind of an unfortunate thing. And yeah, Siege, X is coming out. That's supposed to like, make a lot of things different and better. But at the exact same time, there's certain things that not even Ubisoft can fix, because at the heart of, the community situation when it comes to the game, the community has to be the one who makes that step forward to being better. So the opening clip you see in this video seems like a very nice clip where it's like, okay, nice clutch, you got the double kill, at the doing a fallback to site, and then you go for the defuse. GG's. Thing is, there's another part to that clip where my teammate decides that they want to do the defuse, so they team kill me to do the defuse. This is an old thing that's been in Siege since the beginning, killing your teammate off the defuse. And you will think to yourself, okay, is this a 10-year-old game? Why are people still doing that? I don't know. Is it for the LOLs? Is it for, the thing about it, if it's for the points, it doesn't matter. You're playing ranked. The end goal of ranked is to win a game. And now that you've done an intentional team kill, you have altered the entire course of the game. An accidental team kill doesn't change anything about the game. If it's an accident, it's like, yo, my fault, my G. I didn't mean to do that. But when it's an intentional team kill, the entire vibe of the entire team changes. So we were winning that game, and even when it came to like, we feel like we're in the driver's seat the entire freaking game essentially. But after that round where this person team kills me, the entire thing changes. Now I'm pissed off, now I'm annoyed, so now I have head loss. Head loss, also don't you know what head loss is? I don't know the word for it. It just means that you're not focusing anymore. You're doing things you don't normally do. You're playing in a way you're normally playing because you're not mentally all there. So I'm frustrated. I have head loss, but I don't retaliate. The reason why I don't retaliate is because you said that old adage when you're a kid. The teacher doesn't catch the person who did the act. They catch who does the retaliation. They didn't retaliate, so just ignored it. But I'm in a 3-stack, so it's 3 of us in a duo. And my brother, who's one of the 3, he does the retaliation for me. So he decides to take it upon himself to team kill the person who team killed me. And I don't think it's because he team killed me. I think it's because it's very known when you do an essential team kill, you already fucked over the entirety, like the entire landscape of the game. So when brother team kills, the person who team killed me, And you know, the rounds now going to shit. If a team wins that round, the next round, the duo of the person who team kill me, team kills my brother, so my friend, our third team kills that guy. It's a chain reaction. It's an entire chain reaction. We lose this game of ranked where we were in a driving seat initially. Things were seeming like, okay, this is gonna be like an easy game because, you know, we're able to like handle these dudes. But it turns into, you know, back and forth team killing that I didn't take part in, and we ended up losing the game. You know, like I stopped caring. Like after the team kill happened, I stopped picking operators I don't want to play as. I literally started picking like the recruit operators. I just didn't care anymore. It was like, all right, fuck it. If you feel like you should, you know, team kill your teammate for a few points, now you're gonna lose this game. You know, and that's like the end result. Like all because you wanted the defuse points. Now you lose the game. And it's like, this isn't an isolated event when it comes to Siege. Everyone who plays this game has those moments, and those moments is why he will always ask the question, how come they just won't remove team killing from the freaking game? And the reason why Siege won't remove team killing from the game is a simple thing. The community views it as part of the game's identity to have it, you know, because originally the thought process was team killing exists to prevent you from just spraying your gun and being dumb. It's meant to add to the tactical of the tactical shooter. You know, you have to pick your shots, not just spray. And it makes sense in that concept. The thing is, there's a human element. Humans are fucking stupid. Not only are humans stupid, humans are assholes, humans are greedy, humans are, you know, everything under the sun that can be an insult. So you'll get situations where, yeah, maybe someone reinforced a wall that shouldn't reinforce, but instead of being told, hey, you shouldn't reinforce that, the person team kills them. Now me, I'm the kind of person who would just tell you, like even when we first got back into Siege, you know, my buddy freaking reinforced a wall. I didn't want to reinforce it. I didn't like team kill him or yell. I was like, hey, but next time you can reinforce that wall because we need that, you know, as a rotate. And you know, he played Siege more recently than I have, but he also took a break from Siege, so he probably just forgot that you don't reinforce that particular wall because there's defaults in the game. And, you know, there's default rotates, default setups, and so you just kind of forget what the defaults were. But you know, there's just certain reactions to Siege, and I have friends who they always say, I always wanted to get into Siege, but then I watch your live stream or watch your videos, and it's like, yeah, I don't want to play Siege anymore. Like I don't want to get into it, you know, because everyone has like their own toxic video game that they play. Some people play Apex and they're like, oh, this game's so freaking toxic, but I love it. Some people play Halo, oh, this game's so toxic, but I freaking love it. And it's like, but they want to like try out another shooter, and it's like, but I heard that game was very, very, very toxic. And it's like, can you talk about it? Yeah, I don't want to play that. I don't want that experience. But the thing about it is Siege is still Siege. You know, what that is, it's still the game that, you know, I love. You know, that's why I came back to it, because you know, Siege scratches a certain itch that other games can't scratch. It is a one of one when it comes to the kind of game that it is. You know, like there's so many outcomes that are possible with Siege. There's so many potential, you know, situations when it comes to Siege. Like, yeah, there's a TDM meta, but you know, ultimately, the best team when it comes to positioning and communication and, you know, knowing the maps will always beat the team who are just gunners. You know, like if just being a gunner was something that worked, G2 would have won way more when it had like those crazy stack freaking squads where it's just nothing but freaking, you know, some of the best players in the world who are great fraggers. It's like, all right, they got 5 fraggers, but they can't do anything else. And they didn't win shit because they were just 5 fraggers. And same thing, even you can say, okay, well, that's just pro play, but it's the same thing when it comes to like just regular ranked. You have to have a good balance. And that's what people love about Siege. You know, you can do the whole run and gun for a certain amount of time, but at the end of the day, you still need to, you know the site, know the call outs, know positioning, know when to rush, when not to rush, when to, how many people should be roaming and things like that. There's certain things you should just know when it comes to Siege. And then my return to the game has kind of like shown me that after all these years, people still have not learned how to play Siege. You know, like it's still a game where people have been playing this game for years and they still don't know how to play it. You know, and I think that kind of adds to the matchmaking struggle that exists, because when you play this game, solo, duo, whatever number it is, other than the 5 stack, you will always just like witness people doing things where it's like you don't need to do that. You're overthinking it, you're over aiming it, you're over peaking it, you're just doing all these different things where it's like you don't have to do that. And the way that you're doing it is not only hurting your team, it's hurting yourself and hurting your ability to like understand the game. And then you're confused on why what you did didn't work, and you know you blew a clutch and things like that. And just like the reason why people haven't learned to play Siege is because they don't want to learn to play Siege. They want to learn to make clips. They don't learn how to play the game. They want to learn to make clips. There's a difference there. The mindset's different. When you want to learn to make clips, your thought process is, I want to do something that I can clip and put on TikTok. And I noticed that when I play my friend's brother, you know, he'll be like, I want to play with such and such. We'll play it right. He'll play, hey, can I pick such and such so I can do this thing I saw on TikTok? It's like, that should not be your mindset. He's a kid, so I get it. But it shouldn't be the mindset of anyone to like just try to replicate his song. Like he's like, I'm gonna pick visual, use the boss G, and I'm gonna do this, and then he'll like immediately get get killed trying to do a spawn peek. He's like, I'm gonna pick Goyo, and I'm gonna do this one on TikTok, and then he'll immediately freaking get killed. I'm gonna pick Cabana and do this on TikTok. It's like this. If you can do goofy shit in quick play or standard, when you're ranked, you don't want to do goofy stuff. Like maybe you do something goofy, like if this is a 3-0 and it's like, let's just have a little bit of fun with it. But the thought process when it comes to ranked is, you're here to win the game. You're going to do what you can to win the game. You're going to play as a team to win the game. You're going to communicate as a team to win the game and things like that. But for some magical reason, as simplistic as that sound, Siege does not maintain that thought process against its community. Does that mean that my return to Siege has been a failure and that, you know, I hate that I returned to Siege? No. Because it's, like I said, it's a game that I love and it's a game that I enjoy. It's a game that ever since I started playing it again, I wanted to play more of it again. You know, and I kind of just hope the best for Siege. I hope that Siege X is what it needs to be to breathe life back into the game and to fix the issues that the game has. The game does have some questionable freaking audio. The game does have questionable freaking, you know, hit rate. The game does have, you know, just moments where it just doesn't make sense. And it's just like, all right, that's just Siege timing. That's just, you know, the luck of the draw. Better be lucky than good. Things like that. You know, but I will be playing more Siege. You know, my live stream, you'll likely see me play Siege at some point. You know, because I'm a variety streamer, so you know, for the most part, I'm probably playing like, there's supposed to be like an Oblivion remaster coming out. Probably playing that, but like here and there there'll be some Siege streams. And you know, I kind of like I need to get back into Siege shape. Like I still can perform well, but I notice there's certain things that, like about my own freaking gameplay when I'm just doing stuff and it's like, see, if I did this instead, I would have had an extra shot to do this or do that. You know, like I had one moment during my last live stream of Siege where I could have easily had a 4K clutch, but I eagle peaked. And I admitted to myself that like my brother was like, you know, GG, nice try. I was like, nah, I actually could have had that. And I just eagle peaked. I didn't need to peek that guy. I did it because I already had killed 3 of them. So I was just like, all right, I can deal with these dudes. You know, I had that thought process that my gun skills going to carry me, you know, to just get stuff done, and I just eagle peaked. And that's part of like becoming a better player, is understanding that you did something wrong, and not just letting people make excuses for you, but acknowledging that you did something wrong. You know, like I know people who like look at my gameplay and be like, you know, if there's like a failed clutch, they'll be like, yo, it's not your fault that you failed that clutch. Your teammate should have been alive. You know, you shouldn't have to win a 1v4 every single game. And it's true. I shouldn't have to win a 1v4 every single game, or 1v5 every single game, but I can do it though. So it's like, when you know that you can do it, you know you have done it, when there's clips of you doing it, you try to do it and you don't want to make excuses for yourself. My thought process right now though is, I just wish that Ubisoft can get the audio situated. I wish they can do something about the match. The biggest flaw to me right now is just matchmaking. You know, I feel like your visual rank should be the rank that the game matchmaking should be based off of, and nothing else. Like obviously you have connectivity as well, but you know, your visual rank should be a priority. Not your hidden rank, things like that. Especially when you're like playing with multiple people. it should be an aggregate of the visual ranks of those people. So if like everyone in your group is a freaking gold, for example, your visual rank, you should play against golds. You know, you should never see a current season or the last season's freaking, you know, champion badge in bronze lobbies. You know, like, yeah, it's the visual rank. Your visual rank isn't actually freaking bronze or copper or silver. Your hidden rank is actually like, you know, plat or champ or whatever. But it's like, no, you should have it based on like your visual rank. And I think if Ubisoft did things that way, if Ubisoft actually had like, let's say, placements again, you would see a bigger return of players to Siege, because a lot of people who used to play Siege but then stopped, they don't want to come back to Siege because they don't want to have to play against plats, emeralds, diamonds, and champions when they've taken a year, 2 years, 3 years points off the game because there's no rank decay if you're hitting MR. But anyways, we're yapping. This video is getting longer than it needs to be. Like I said, there's no script, so when there's no script, I can just kind of like you know, go on and on. But I'll talk to you guys on the next video. Have a rest of your day. Y'all stay safe. Be kind to one another. This being your boy, AnubisArchangel. Trying to be kind. I'll see you guys out here. This is